everyone! I am so excited because it is that time of year again. A time of year where actors are really giddy. Pilot season. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about some things to consider as we gear up for a season of successful pilot auditions. But wait, what is a pilot audition? I am so glad you asked that question. First, let me start off by answering just that. A pilot is a single episode of a show to pitch to producers. This episode is generally used as the first episode of a series this season if picked up and produced by networks. So around mid-year, major networks get pitches for new shows from writers and producers. And later, networks will request scripts from some of those pitches. Once the new year arrives, networks will have chosen a handful of those scripts from which to make pilots. Pilots are presented to executives, and networks will then choose some of those pilots to present at this thing called upfronts and add to their upcoming season of shows. My favorite short definition of pilot season is this. Pilot season is an annual high-pressure race to the finish line during which studios cast, produce, and test new series. This race generally happens around January through April and concludes around May. Okay, so that was a lot of words. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about some common questions and best practices to achieve the most out of this exciting season for both seasoned and aspiring television actors. So, how is casting for a pilot different than casting for an already existing show? For starters, networks have a few weeks as opposed to a few days to cast several roles as opposed to a few. Casting will usually make a cast list of their first choices, their A list, and then one for their second choices, their B list, and so on. Eventually, casting may move to agent submissions for shows, and that is where the net is spread wider to possibly include a multitude of other actors who wouldn't necessarily get an invitation from casting without it. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. How should I prepare for pilot season? First off, and to ensure the best possible outcomes, make yourself completely available and save those vacations for later. And if possible, try to ensure a very flexible work schedule so that you can be available for any possible audition appointment. Next, always make sure you are in tip-top shape for an audition, whether it's an in-person audition or whether it's a self-tape. I have booked many auditions off of a self-tape. They are taken very seriously. And if that's not enough to light a fire under your bum, remember that taped auditions are forever. So it's best to make those self-tape auditions great in case casting ever decides to revisit them later on down the line. Commit to your workouts, eat well, and don't neglect your self-care. You can afford to miss a night out on the town if that means ensuring you give your best audition in the room and in turn leading you to booking your series regular. I also personally believe it's best to be off book. Now, of course, sometimes you don't have a lot of time to prepare for these auditions, but being off book as much as possible tends to yield great results. It always helps me to better focus on my objective, what I'm doing, and who I'm talking to, and to just be able to relax into the scene. And it all makes for a better audition. Remember what happens when preparation meets opportunity. If you have an agent, contact them and ask them what they might need from you so that they can better pitch you to networks. If you don't have an agent, stop everything that you're doing right now, get your headshots, resumes, and cover letters ready, and send them off to select agencies inquiring about picking you up for representation. Having a TV film agent or manager is important, if not necessary, to getting seen for select television roles. Update your profiles on Actors Access and casting networks. Don't have a profile on one or both of those sites? Create one. They're free. Now, these profiles should include at least 2 recent good photos of the real you. In general, one smiling and one more serious. I'm not good at that. They should be natural in essence. You should also physically type your resume in the available fields, complete your measurements and physical attributes, share your union status if applicable, note your special skills, and finally, include a reel of your performance work and/or 1 to 2 recent self-tapes for an audition. Next up is networking. Now, there are several ways that you can do this, including, but not limited to, taking reputable casting director or agent workshops, or even reaching out and connecting with casting that has previously called you in for an audition or even booked you on a television show. Nothing beats a failure but a try. If you are not a part of the television film union SAG-AFTRA, don't fret. There is always still a possibility that you can be seen for pilot season. However, there is no doubt that having the union affiliation helps to legitimize you in the eyes of casting directors. So if you're not a part of the union, ensure that you're keeping your eyes open to other possibilities, commercials, films, and other television work that will be great resume boosters in addition to helping you get that SAG-AFTRA affiliation. Okay, and do not sleep on non-pilot television show auditions. Remember that already produced television shows are still having auditions at this time, so it's best that you keep your mind and your eyes open to these opportunities and treat them equally as seriously. Okay, and last but certainly not least, Have fun and be yourself. Of course you're acting, and there is a willing suspension of disbelief in everything that we do as actors. However, remember that casting truly wants nothing more than to see the real you and have you share your art with them. 'Tis the season for looking for new, fresh talent and personalities. So lean into that and let the joy begin. And that's all, folks. Dun, 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 dun. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for future updates and upcoming episodes in this season of An Actress Prepares. Also, check out the description below for the best publications to follow to keep up with the status of upcoming pilots, new shows, casting information, and more. If you have any questions or anything you'd like to share, please feel free to comment below. As always, thank you for watching and happy auditioning, friends. Ciao. We gon' book that pilot. We gon' book that pilot. It's pilot season. It's pilot season. It's pilot season.